Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are happy and healthy. Students, as you all know, we have started a few days back our writings. So we have already discussed story writing, notice writing and few letters also. And children, today we are going to start a new topic for writings, that is newspaper report writing. So this is also a short composition, and here you just in that you, because you are writing for the newspaper, that is why your writing should be very concise and according to the topic, or you can say that what is happening around you, that you are just reporting to the newspaper. That is why it is called newspaper report writing. So children, today we are going to study on that. So our topic today is news report writing. Newspaper reports writing. So here you can add newspaper report writing. So it is clear to you. So as in the morning, whenever we are at home, we are getting paper for our newspaper hawkers. So, and in that newspaper, you can see few headlines is given. So, according to the headlines, inside you can go through the story, what is written inside that article which is written by someone. So, the headline must be there. So this is very important. Whenever you are writing a newspaper report writing, you should be very in a very concise way. You should express whatever is going on or what was happened yesterday or few days back. So that is very important. I'm going to tell you few outlines which is very important for you, or you can say guidelines which is very important for you whenever you are writing a newspaper report. So let's start, children. First thing which is very important, that is have an appropriate precise and catchy headlines. To capture the reader's attention. So, whenever you are writing a newspaper report, it is very, very important your heading must be attractive or catchy. Otherwise, reader will not be able to understand what would you like to tell. It means whenever you are writing a newspaper report, so you should have an appropriate, according to the basis whatever you have written inside, that your topic or your headline should be very clear and concise and in a catchy manner. Now children, second point that is very important, always be written in the third person. State only facts, and the third point, always be written always be written in the third person. Okay, children. First thing which is very important, that your headlines must be catchy and appropriate. And the second point is state only facts. Don't create any imaginary story, because it is not a story writing, it is a newspaper report writing. So you must be very particular about that, and whatever you are writing, it should be based on facts. So don't mingle anything, don't create any story. You just write down the facts, whatever you have seen and what you have noticed. That is very important, because you are writing newspaper report. That is why whenever reader is going to read your report, they can aware about that. Okay. And the third point, always be written in the third person. Whatever you are writing, it is written in the third person. Now, next point, which is very important, always be written indirect or reported speech. Always be written indirect speech and or reported speech, sorry. So children, as we have discussed that always be written in the third person. So your speech, whatever you are going to write, that should be in reported speech, indirect reported speech. So that will always become in the third person. Now, next point is, which is very important, that have details of the place and date. So children, it is very important, have detail. It means you should have detail, you should write in detail and details of the place and date. If an incident was taken place yesterday, so you should mention what is the place. If you are writing a report about incident was taken place yesterday, one robbery was taken place yesterday. So where? First thing which is very important, where? Where, it means you should show the place. In Varanasi, if it was happened, so where? Suppose you are writing in Chetganj, some goldsmiths, or you can say the Chetmani house of jewelry. So that robbery, you should show the place, exact place, and date also. So if it is happened yesterday, so you should write the date. And now the second thing which is very important, carry all the relevant information. It means so children, this is very important. Carry all the relevant information. It is not only that robbery was taken place yesterday in that area. So you have to be in detail according to the relevant information, not any story. So you just be on the point whatever was done by robbers, you should be very particular. Whatever you are writing, it should be fact, not a created story. So always remember, carry all the relevant information. If your information is incorrect, don't write it. It is my suggestion. So always be very particular. Whatever you are writing, it should be true. It should be, you should focus on the truthfulness of that incident. So always search and collect relevant information. Then you should start your newspaper report writing. Otherwise, it is worthless. You will not be able to convey your message or your information to the readers. So exact information you should collect and then write this newspaper report writing. Okay, children? So this is very important. It is not based on your imagination. It should not be based on your imagination. It is based on the fact, what was happened. So that is very important whenever you are writing newspaper report writing. So now we are moving to the steps we followed whenever we are writing newspaper report. So steps, what are the steps? So steps of writing newspaper report. This is very important, children, because without steps we cannot be able to write the correct newspaper report. So first thing, you can say this is the format of newspaper report writing. First is heading. Second thing is name of reporter. Third thing is place, date, place, date, beginning of the report, and fourth thing is factual details. Factual details. And fifth thing is conclusion is essential. So children, it is very important whenever you are writing newspaper report writing, this format must be followed. Otherwise, you will write in an incorrect way, so your marks will be cut. So always remember format of the newspaper report writing. I am going to tell you in detail also, but few points before starting in detail we must understand. So now here heading. Heading, as I have already discussed with you, that it must be catchy and interesting. So whatever you are writing inside that, so it should be related to the heading also, whatever inside that report. Name of the reporter. So if you are writing report, so you should mention your name there. And place and date. Beginning of the report, it is very, very, you can say in a very catchy manner or very interesting manner, you should start your report, newspaper report writing. And now factual details. It means your details, your information must be based on facts, not on any created or false story. So always be very particular whenever you are writing newspaper report writing. So you should write facts. Facts, it means what happened exactly, you just create in your own word and then write it down. Now, fifth point, that is conclusion is essential. It means whatever the steps was taken by the police, that should be mentioned over there. And how many robbers will be caught, or whatever happened yesterday or in the morning before 12 o'clock. Also that you have to be mentioned. Otherwise, your newspaper report will not be completed. So children, always be very particular about format, because whenever you are writing newspaper report writing, you should particular about these points. First is heading. Heading, as we have discussed, that it should be very informative or interesting, and name of the reporter. You are writing a newspaper report writing, so you should mention your name over there, and place date. Place date, because this is very important. Because daily you can get paper, that is why date always changing. Whatever happened yesterday, you should mention in that place and date. Place, as we have discussed, and beginning of the report. Beginning of the report, you should mention place and date. And then we are moving to the inside that report, that is factual details. Factual details and relevant information must be given by the writer. Otherwise, nobody will take interest in that, because it will be not liked by the viewers or the readers. Now, conclusion is essential. Whenever you are writing a newspaper report writing, your conclusion must be clear. What is going to happen and what was happened. So that should be written in your newspaper report writing. Okay, children. Now we are moving to the. I'm going to give one example of newspaper report writing that you should see and follow that. So that is 4 dead. The heading of report, you should mention over here 4 dead. 4 dead in building collapse. In building collapse. Okay, children. 4 dead in building collapse. So this is our headline, or you can say topic. So this is our headline, 4 dead in building collapse. So when it has happened, that we are going to write. Now Varanasi, because we are Varanasi, December 19 in shocking incident a building under construction under construction collapsed in Shram Vihar colony at Sigra, or whatever you want to write, on Saturday, on Friday you can write, on Friday, because you are writing 19th. So 19 is a Saturday, that is why you just write down one day before, because it was already happened. So that is why you should mention over here Friday, claiming at least four lives. Because here you are confirmed that 4 lives, that 4 dead. That is why claiming at least 4 lives. Now children, now we are moving. Many persons mostly migrant laborers, and their families were trapped in the debris and rescues work was still on till date. So it means that you have completed first part of your newspaper report writing. So here you have mentioned place Varanasi, December 19, in shocking incident, a beautiful under construction collapsed in Shram Vihar colony at Sigra on Friday. So here you have mentioned the place and date, the area where it was happened. Now, claiming at least 4 lives, it means 4 dead, because your headline is according to that and it is based on fact. So that is why you have mentioned over here in the heading, because you are very assured and you got the information, or you can say that you have seen. So that is why you are writing the fact 4 dead in building collapse. So here, claiming at least 4 lives, many persons, mostly migrant laborers and their families, were trapped in debris and rescue work was still on till date. It means it was happened yesterday, but still date. It means today also the work is going on, or rescues is going on. So children, now we are going to continue this report. We have completed first part and now we are moving to the second part, because in this board there is very less space. That is why I am going to erase this. But the article is same, because I don't have much space. That is why I am erasing this. So children, now according to the locals, Now here you are going to describe the relevant information, whatever you have got from the those persons, those who are living by. So now here you are going to write, now according to the locals means those who are living nearby, locals. The building collapsed around collapsed around at least collapsed around 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. It means the time, whatever you have got information from persons, or you can say the locals, that you are going to mention over here. So the time was 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock in the evening. Date you have already mentioned, and the persons, those 4 dead, so you have already mentioned. Now here you are going to write in detail. So according to the locals, the building collapsed around 4 o'clock in the evening. Now I am going to write, there were about 10 laborers. There were about 10 laborers inside the building. Inside the building. Including 3 families. Including 3 families. You are writing in detail. A local resident said, and now here you are going to mention that you got this information about the locals. Now here a local resident said, what he said, that you are going to here write in quote. The builder was also inside. The builder was also inside. Okay. When the building suddenly collapsed. When the building suddenly collapsed. Okay, children? And he might be one of the victims. And he might be one of the victim. Okay, children? Now here his statement is over. Now you are going to write the conclusion part, because conclusion is very important. That is why we are going to write the concluding part. The government has announced a compensation rupees over here, you just going to mention over there, For the family of each victim. For the family of each victim. Okay, children. Now here we have completed newspaper report. Now here you can see, because children, as we have already given 4 dead and the building collapse. Now we have written this in a very detailed manner. On the fact, we haven't create any story or any imaginary thing. We just, on the basis of the fact, we have already done. So children, we continue writing this newspaper report writing, because this is very important, and few exercises which are already given in your grammar book. You just go through this and practice to write newspaper report writing. So children, bye bye and take care.